big year last year. We drove the ATS at Atlanta Motorsports Park. We drove the XTS on Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, Mulholland Drive. Yeah.
And you decided not to take a break, and you're coming out with another car.
That just means great things are happening for us.
Okay.
And with this car, Cadillac ELR, we're really taking the brand to a whole new place and a whole new space. You know, we took that proven foundation that we got from the Volt, 190 million real world miles of driving, right? So this is not a laboratory experiment on wheels. And we were able to take that dramatic styling that you saw on the Converge. And
that was an awesome car.
Awesome car.
Clay
awesome
did some
vehicle.
really good work there.
You know, I got to tell you, we had stopped work.
I remember you guys decided not to do it.
We had decided not to do a production vehicle based on Converge. We were trying to prioritize capital spending and some other things, but you know, Dan looked at what this vehicle could mean and he said, let's go for it. And really, it's only been about 18 months since we made that decision.
I'll be honest, you didn't roll in there with a business case and said, you know, I think you should look at this. Come on, you're at Harvard MBA. I'm sure you figured
I wish
out.
I could take all the credit for it. Certainly, we advocated for the vehicle.
Is that what it's called?
We advocated for the vehicle, yeah. And but you know what? It wasn't easy. I mean, to take that Converge concept and to, you know, bend the sheet metal so that you can really do it in production took a lot of effort. So
I would think the biggest thing is really the propulsion system. How do you make Voltec? I mean, I've driven the car. It's a nice driving car, but it ain't no Corvette. So how do you make that system drive like a Cadillac?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that we have performance credentials in terms of rear-wheel drive architectures, you know, the CTS and the ATS. But having said that, in segments where it makes sense, you know, we have front-wheel drive as the core architecture as well. We did some things here to make sure that we could get performance that makes sense for this segment. And so we're able to go deeper into the battery, for instance, in 30 to 70 kinds of maneuvers. A little bit more torque in this application.
It's faster 30 to 70 passing.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, a little bit more torque in this application than in the Volt. Of course, obviously since it's electrically driven, that's instantaneous torque.
So that's acceleration. I mean, you can get that in an electric car, but the feel and the way the car drives, is there anything you did there?
Actually, yeah. We have introduced a new feature that we call Regen on Demand. Regenerative braking in electrically driven vehicles means that when you press on the brake pedal, in addition to stopping the vehicle, you're actually restoring power back to the battery, right? It's a generator that charges up the battery. Well, what we've done is taking those same steering wheel paddles, right, that you normally use for tap up and tap down, and you can go into Regen on Demand without
like
putting your foot.
Braking.
It's exactly.
Oh, awesome.
It's like engine braking that you can control from the steering wheel, and so you're able to manipulate the car. You know, depending on the situation, set yourself up for getting into that turn like you so adequately taught me at Atlanta Motorsports Speedway.
So you're learning something about my downshifting prowess. So you're telling me I have helped develop this vehicle?
In a way, MotoMan, I guess you could say that.
Give me a bone.
In a way, yeah. I'll throw you a bone.
Okay. And a new car for my work in Atlanta.
All you got was the shirt, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got smoked.
Some other things, just in terms of the overall vehicle, I mean, we've got 20-inch wheels on this car.
That's a big difference.
The interior is actually even more fascinating and astounding than the exterior, I believe, on this interior.
Suede in here?
Suede uppers along the door trim, real leather, not only in the seats, but the iPad uppers along the doors. And based on the initial reaction, we think we've got a winner on our hands. And you know, when I say winner, you know, I'm not talking about hundreds of thousands of units. That's not what we're intending to do with this vehicle. It is a luxury vehicle. It's going to be somewhat exclusive, and so we're talking thousands of annual units as opposed to hundreds or even tens of thousands. You know, with ATS and XTS, those are the first two of 10 new Cadillacs that we'll be introducing over the next 3 years. So 10. Lots of exciting things to talk about.
I would say that after 10 cars, you wouldn't have any hair left, but obviously introduced 10 cars already.
Hey, you said I didn't age. Come on.
That's true.
We're gonna have fun at Cadillac, definitely.
Okay, so then we're gonna have to figure out another challenge on this one. That's gonna be our homework.
Let's put our minds to it when we get back together.
But I don't want to get smoked again this time. I want a real prize. Something with a sunroof, manual transmission, perhaps 2 seats, maybe folding top if the sunroof doesn't work out.
You're asking a lot, man. You're asking a lot.
Well, I do a lot of work for you, man. I mean, I worked hard on that track, make that car look good. What did I say? I drove it like I stole it.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay, Don, I'm gonna let you get back to work because at the end of the day, you got 10 cars to work on.
I gotta go to work.
Hey,
MotoMan, always good to speak with you.
Happy New Year.